You're on the party line with Sarah and Christy. This is I'm on the Phone podcast, where we are healing out loud, sharing culty stories, and laughing at the mess along the way. So grab a coffee, a bestie, settle in, and let's talk. By the time I was sitting in a president's office at age 18, I was already conditioned.
Right. Yeah.
Both of us were. By the time you were sitting in that board meeting, and by the time I was sitting in the president's office, we were already conditioned to respond the way that we did.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the first time I've been sat down and screamed at about my sexuality or their perception of my sexuality.
That's it. Yeah. They were totally wrong.
I have my diary still that my mom read. Like,
are you serious?
I
remember you telling me she read your diary, but I didn't know you kept it.
Well, it's kind of, I need to look at it again. I didn't intentionally just keep it. I don't know why I kept it. Part of it's because the diary itself was something that I think I bought myself. And it was it's really pretty, and it's unique, and I'll have to pull it out and show it to you.
I'd love to see it.
But I quit writing after that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, obviously.
It feels safe to write anything down if it wasn't good. It's yours.
Yeah. And that was like, I don't know. I wasn't like a consistent like diary writer or journal writer. I usually wrote when I was like frustrated and upset.
Yeah.
And when I needed an outlet, and I didn't have anyone else to talk to.
Right.
I didn't have a best friend that I could talk to about those kinds of things. And it's interesting to me that when I think back, I don't remember the feeling in my body and the confusion in my brain when people would ask me who was my best friend.
Yeah.
And all I could say was my mom. Because she was the person I talked to the most.
Yeah.
Even that was super guarded.
Yeah.
I had friends. But I never fully opened up with them. Like I enjoyed their life. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I started learning about enmeshment and those types of family relationships.
Oh, yeah.
That's it like clicked for me.
Yeah.
But I remember like that. I almost like froze when I was asked.
Yeah.
Because I did not know. I knew my answer shouldn't be my mom. But I didn't know what else to say.
Right.
So it was so when she read my diary, the person I considered myself to be closest to, like I was aware that she was, I don't know, dysfunctional, but I never could have put that into words. Like I didn't I knew something was wrong. I knew that we often struggled in our relationship, but I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
And most of the time I ended up blaming it on myself. So that was like when she read my diary, that was like one of the most angry, wrathful moments or period of time I faced from her to that point in my life. Like It was rage. And like, I don't know how long it lasted that I sat at our little breakfast table and got like, was screamed at. And I remember that was the first time that I remember being so angry I was shaking.
How old?
And like, I would have been 17, almost 18. Yeah. Um,
I'm so angry at her right now. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay, continue, please.
No, it's fine. But I wanted to attack her physically.
Yeah.
And I was shaking and holding myself back from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was like the ultimate betrayal of trust.
Absolutely.
And the whole God told me to look and read your diary
Oh,
bullshit.
please.
I knew that was bullshit the moment it came out of her mouth. She's the
Absolutely.
nosiest person I know.
Absolutely.
Um, and I remember it's an odd memory still for me. I
Mm-hmm.
remember her screaming at the top of her lungs at me.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that like why she was screaming at me didn't have some legitimacy. Like I had done something I knew I wasn't supposed to do. And if I found my daughter was doing, I'd actually be more concerned about the fact that my daughter felt like she had to lie to me or go behind my back than what was actually going on.
I was going to say, yeah.
Um, which she would not agree with either, but especially in that world of purity culture. But it was one of the only times that my dad was present for a punishment, I guess. That wasn't like secondary, where it wasn't like I got in trouble. She usually it's always my mom that was like the direct punisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like when I was, because of course at this point I'm like 17. Um, so I'm not getting spankings anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Um, but it was always like I would get in trouble, she would know about it, and she would choose whether or not to tell my dad and act like if she didn't, she was doing me a favor. Um, but when I was younger, I would get in trouble and then I have to wait for him to come home to get my spanking because she wasn't strong enough to make it hurt enough. Um,
Which is abuse
yeah.
in so many different ways right there. That one thing.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's just odd dynamics already. But it was like the one time he was there, like for the whole thing. And like stood in the background, let her scream at me, and then took his turn screaming at me.
Oh.
Yeah. And like I mean I had been sneaking to see my boyfriend and he had come over to our house and we were making out and doing what teenagers do. We were we were not being like we were not having sex or doing anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was pretty physical. But of course, anything beyond like kissing for them was a no. Um,
Like,
yeah.
gotta
Well,
prove.
and that's the thing, like, Christy, even what we did was so tame. Like,
Yeah.
it was so tame.
Yeah. You weren't exposed to anything. And so, therefore, I mean, you were so sheltered. Like, what were you
Yeah.
going to do? And good grief.
Yeah.
I am just like, why were you having to sneak around to see your boyfriend? Like, why couldn't you see him? You know
I
what I'm
mean, I did see
saying?
him on dates.
17 years old,
Yeah.
Sarah. That
Oh
is
my goodness. I
ridiculous.
had like very little autonomy.
Yeah.
even at that. Like I had a job, um, like, and again, like at that point, my friends tended to be older than me. I did have like one friend, but she lived a decent amount away or decent time away from me. So we didn't always get together at that point.
Mhm.
But again, I was like in a pretty isolated world. I was homeschooling and I had a job.
Oh, that just
Trying
hits.
to think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot of dynamics leading up to that.
Yeah.
Um, but like that was like that first experience of like in the room. Like it's a room that like just will forever live in my memory.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that I mean, I've been yelled at, trust me. Like,
Right.
but this was like the first time there was so much betrayal
Hmm.
and like just full on screaming, like like screaming.
Yeah.
um and feeling powerless and helpless and so much shame, like so much shame and guilt.
Right.
Um my parents just they weren't safe people. They never were.
No.
I mean, my first memory of my mom, like I was like when I knew that I couldn't come to her when I needed her. I
Hmm.
think I was a toddler. Because I had gotten a spanking, and in the process, she had scratched my knee, like it was bleeding, and I'd gotten spanked. The scratch happened during all this, and I was made to sit on the couch, and I was crying because my knee was stinging so bad. And I was trying to tell her that it hurt, and she told me she didn't care, and she wouldn't, help me.
Yeah.
And I remember after that was when, like, the first time, like, when I got hurt, that I made myself not cry. And so it was like,
Four,
I just,
3.
he's probably three-ish.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just knew
You
that
couldn't.
my pain didn't matter.
Yeah.
And so, like, my whole life, honestly, it's actually odd to reflect back on it. My whole life was just covering up what I needed.
Yeah. Hmm.
And even despite that, like my existence was triggering to them or her at least.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I couldn't win,
Yeah.
and it just depended on the day for her as to whether or not she was in a good mood.
Right.
Like, and I do understand that, like she was in a difficult place physically and she was in a cult too. I understand all those things. Um, but I don't excuse it. Like I have as bad or worse things I have to work through now with my kids. And I don't push off responsibility for my actions with them.
Absolutely.
And I like that was like not knowing what I know now, but becoming a parent, I knew then so many things that I would not do based on my experience. One of those was the ability to apologize when I was wrong.
Yes. Hmm.
That was like the one of the number one things that I knew I wouldn't allow myself to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was like one of my first in the room experiences. And it wasn't long after I was 18 when I ended up in the president's office.
Oh my goodness.
And once again,
Yeah.
like screamed at, like he was red in the face. Not that it was hard for him to get red in the face, but um, I mean, full on like screaming, screaming, the kind where spit might be flying. Um, and just that same feeling. I just at that point I wasn't angry. It was like one of the most shameful feelings, and I was just like I wanted to like sink into the carpet like a little mouse.
It was just the two of you in there, correct?
Yeah,
Which
just
was
the two of us.
which was
Which,
just, I mean, it was a Bible college, and that was the most inappropriate
mm-hmm.
because he wasn't talking about academics, he was talking about your sexuality.
Yeah.
Like, how inappropriate can you be?
Yeah. Given the
I am
context of why I
still,
was there, I should never have been alone in a room with a man.
no, exactly.
And it's not because I'm the problem either.
No. That's the thing, is that it was unfounded. You were being accused of things that you weren't doing. And then it was all over a photo, was it not?
Yeah, it was photos and their perceptions of those photos, which I've shared publicly because there's nothing wrong with them. I actually look really good because I'm like
Your
18.
hair was down, Sarah.
My hair was
Hair was
down and
down.
my shoulders were like I had like on a strap,
A
like
cap
a
sleeve.
sleeveless jumper.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a banana strap or,
I
spaghetti
mean,
strap.
the way he was acting, it sounded like you were, in a porno movie or something. It was,
Oh, that's definitely the perception that I
yeah.
was practically making porn.
Mhm. And you did look good in that photo. It's amazing.
Like, yeah, it's probably the best I've ever looked. Um, but yeah, like, and even that again was another like someone decided, and I don't know whose room it was they found him in, because I had two friends. We all decided to do little makeovers in our dorm rooms
Hmm.
at night, probably at 3 in the morning. Um, well after curfew. And like my one friend happened to be really good at makeup. I had no makeup skills whatsoever at that point because
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to have any. Um, and so I think like I might have like cover up at that point. But she did a really, really good job. And I was shocked. Like I was just like, oh, is that really me? Like I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we were like any 18-year-old college kid, like just in our fills, like feeling good
Yeah.
about ourselves. And so we took pictures and we're being like sexy-ish, like, like a
Yeah.
model look,
Yeah.
Um,
They were
I
pictures for
mean,
you guys to look at.
yeah, they were for us.
It was for memories.
They were not on display in a room. They were put away. And one of the RAs decided to be Snoopy. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but it was Snoopy. Dug around, happened upon these photos, and was so deeply concerned. Oh, clutching her invisible pearls she couldn't wear, and turned us in.
Oh,
Like those photos went through the whole chain of command, to my knowledge. Like, I mean, I remember sitting at the dean of students in his office, and he was actually nice. He didn't make me feel that way. Um, But I still remember being embarrassed because I knew who all had seen them and I knew how they were looking at them.
yeah,
But like, it was none of their business.
it wasn't. I mean, you think about it, when you go to college, you're an adult,
Yeah.
like a full-on adult.
Mm-hmm.
You are out of your parents' home. They might be
Mm-hmm.
paying for you to go to college, but you're an adult. Like, that's their decision. So you're not really, I don't know. I'm trying to put my
Well,
thoughts together because
here's the
it's
thing, because I
so,
have like, I have both sides of the point of view as far as like being a student and being a dean of women, right?
yes,
So it is my belief very firmly that once you like as an adult you should be treated as such,
absolutely.
and that like if, even in these types of colleges, when I was the dean of women based on these experiences, was I chose to treat them as adults. Room check is to see if your room is clean and tidy. It is not an opportunity for you to snoop.
Right.
Like if you're breaking the rules and you're hiding stuff, I'm not there to find out. I'm not there to violate your private property, your things.
Right.
If you have a guilty conscience, that's on you, not me. I'm there just to see, is your room clean? Did you make your bed? Pick up your trash, throw it away, tidy your books, tidy your things. All I have to do is open the door and look around and see if it's clean and walk out.
Right.
Right?
That's your only job. Yeah. Which,
But
to
when
be
you're
honest, I don't even think they should be doing that. By the time
well,
you're 18, if you can't keep your room clean, I'm sorry, but that is not, I mean,
the only solution to not doing that would be to charge a deposit in case of damages.
true.
Because there were some rooms
True.
that about took my breath away.
Yep.
Even in the girls' dorm.
I am so with you on that. Absolutely. But I mean, I would get marks for, like, I had a black carpet that went halfway under my bed and came out because it was very, my back then my decorations were all black and like that brown that I'm coming back to now. And I would get marks if my carpet was not vacuumed. Like if you saw any specks at all on the carpet, like I failed and there was nothing else wrong. I just didn't have time to run a vacuum because I had to go all the way down the hall to get it and bring it all the way there and then take it all the way back. I'm going to class. Hello. I mean, so yeah. I think that room check, we don't need to stay on here, but just my opinion about room check. I think, because I have thought about this.
Yes.
I think that room check should be opening the door, looking in, and walking away, and shutting the door. I don't even think that the AR needs to, or the RA needs to go in there, inside the room. If you can see the majority of the room from the doorway, which you typically can in a college dorm.
At least ours.
And then you need to walk out, just look, scan the room, and walk out. Decide whether or not it's clean enough. I mean, things that are unacceptable is a candle burning. You can typically see stuff like that. Like that would be the reason.
Like those were big. That would be a huge fire hazard.
And even leaving the lights on before you leave. That's an expense, right? So, marks for that. And dirty dishes everywhere and stuff like that. Things that can actually gather rodents, in the winter. So I get room check. I mean, I think that's okay, but going inside the room, and all of them. I know people ruffled through my things when I would have room check. And that is
because they're there for a got you.
Yeah.
Like they're there to find your sin.
Yeah. They are just, and if you're having suspicious behavior, a little too private, then you are even jumped on even more. You're watched even more. Anyway.
Well, my friends and I were already under that kind of scrutiny, which I, to this day, really think boils down to some jealousies. Because it is the only explanation I can come up with.
Absolutely. Well, if you saw the photos, for the listeners out there,
I might post them on our Instagram. Actually, I will. I'll post them.
I mean, we're talking about some beautiful girls. Like
I'll just post me, but
gorgeous. But I saw the other photos, and I know these girls like by name only. I don't know them personally.
Yeah,
they're beautiful girls, and y'all were all close and hung out together, and were friends with some of the more outgoing guys at the school. Yeah, there was jealousy going around. I mean, People have been jealous of you your whole life, your mother included.
It seems that way. Yeah.
It is that way. From the outside looking in, there was a lot of jealousy when you were growing up. And that's the why you were treated that way. I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah, I know.
I know it's hard for you
I can see it. I mean, I can see it's based on things that were said to me. It's weird to look at and think about.
Yeah. Yeah, for a mother to be jealous of her daughter, like, can you imagine being jealous of either one of your daughters?
I know that if I were a horribly insecure person, I would be jealous of my daughters.
Yeah.
Because they're beautiful. And like, it's something, I hate so much. Like, why are we so insecure around appearance?
No.
But again, like that was everything. And you're in an environment that demands perfection. But also when it came to women, when you're not allowed to wear like trendy clothes or they were considered worldly. I mean, it's not that we didn't ever wear trendy clothes, depend on which group you were in. I mean, you could look practically Amish in some of these groups, and I do mean literally. And some of us, like, it was like a full range.
Yeah, there was a lot of diversity
there's a lot of diversity, and so you would have the more trendy looking people.
Right.
And you were considered more rebellious if you were pretty, if you had curves, if you wore any makeup, like even if it was like natural, if you cut your hair. And again, depending on the church you were in, sometimes that was more okay than others, but it was always a point of controversy.
It was, yeah.
But for that group, I mean, all women really had was their looks.
Yeah.
Because the main goal was to be a wife. And so how
so your future was wrapped up in finding a man, quite literally, to marry. Yeah.
And it was, I mean, you're in that dichotomy too of like where you could work depending on if you married.
Right.
Because you ran a gamut there too of like some guys were okay with having a working wife. You never knew who you were going to run into as far as like,
right,
once you got to know a guy, what their expectations of a wife was. And it was a running joke that girls went to Bible college to find their MRS degree.
Yeah.
Which makes me want to hurl.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
true.
Because that's like the ultimate goal in life, apparently.
Like the last thing I want to tell my kids to do.
Oh my gosh, I will rather my kids never get married.
Yeah.
Than marry.
Sign any contracts, please. Just don't do it.
Contracts. So yeah, you're in that world. Looks are super important, especially for women.
That's what you
and
have
so
to do.
Yeah, it's just the way it was.
Yeah.
And if you're insecure, which you pretty much have no chance of being very secure unless, generally speaking, you're a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was competitive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opposing messaging that you receive.
Yeah.
Like, that just makes it utterly impossible. Like, you can't do it.
Right.
You can't be pretty without them assuming that you're conceited or that you're, if you have, I'm sorry, but if you have curves, you're assumed to be sexual. And that's the other thing. So like the suppression of sexuality, like normal sexuality, like learning about it, like as it, like starting in puberty and just learning anatomy at the appropriate ages, which almost never happened. And learning like how we are, because anything that even alluded to us as sexuality or something that was sexy or anything like that, whether or not you were trying, was utterly shamed.
Right.
And the thing is, like, we're sexual people. Like, humans are sexual.
Right.
And you can't make it disappear.
They certainly tried.
Oh, they tried. They tried real hard.
Yeah.
They still are trying.
But that's so crazy, Sarah, real quick.
Yeah.
If you had curves, but had a name that was part of the elite in the cult, right?
Yeah.
Then you were okay.
Yeah.
Just if you had a name. Because I'm thinking about
people who had names.
Several people
got away with all kinds of stuff. They
got away with everything, quite literally. Just we were talking the other day how your husband did some things that were quite literally minor in college and was disciplined way above.
We got in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, get this. This is something we got in trouble for. Because this was early on when we were first dating or starting to date.
Yeah.
So for those listeners who don't know anything about this group, this cult group, had an annual convention. Lasted 3 days, and all these Bible colleges are like, they participate very heavily. And my now husband and I were part of one that was like the closest. So it was one of the ones that helped the most, like with supplies and equipment, because we could easily bring them in. So we're talking like choirs and quartets, those kinds of things, a lot of musical groups, and preachers. So I'm part of a quartet.
Yeah.
And so that automatically puts me high up on the radar. No matter what.
Right.
I usually end up there anyways.
Yeah.
Somehow, again, I feel like it's just like, because I walked on the campus, and that's my perception. I can't say that that's like factually true.
Right.
But that's my perception for sure, my experience.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to have been like, it's always in April. So I think it was like the first day, like Tuesday, the day that almost nobody goes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of setup, like Monday and Tuesday. Anyways, we had gone, and we had been seeing each other. We had permission, mind you. We are 24 and 23 years old. Oh, wait, no. We were 25 and 24.
Yeah.
Okay. 25 and 24-year-olds have permission to ride together.
Yes.
In the van, like the quartet van, because I took the van from the location back to the school, right?
Yeah.
So, we got to have permission to be alone.
Oh, yeah.
These
are rules that are still in place, people.
Yup.
In these colleges.
Yeah, and he thought he'd already been to like an actual college.
Yeah.
Like a state college where, you're just adults.
Yeah. And treated as such.
Let me just say, it really rubbed against him wrong the way you got treated, like you were 12. Sure. Literally. You got treated like you were 12.
Absolutely, you did.
Mm-hmm. So we have been at this convention like all day for many, many hours. It's like, I think around 10 at night, 10:30, and we still hadn't been able to eat supper. And so we're like, let's stop and grab a bite to eat, like Steak and Shake. Okay.
Right.
Me trying to be responsible for the vehicle I am driving. I'm like, let's drop off the van first.
Yeah.
Get our own vehicles.
Yeah.
And go grab some Steak and Shake because it was late enough that was about the only option.
Right.
Because the 24-hour thing. And so that's what we did. We dropped off the van. I think we took his car and went and got some Steak and Shake, came back home and went to bed because it was like really late. It was probably closer to midnight. And we had to be back early the next day.
Wow.
Well, apparently that was the wrong thing to do.
Because you came back and were responsible enough to turn in the van.
Yep. If we had just taken the van and stopped to eat, we would not have got in trouble at all. But because we came back on campus and left together in a normal vehicle on campus or from that campus, and we didn't have permission to go on a date.
So stupid, it's comical. Oh,
we were not allowed to talk to each other for 2 weeks.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay, I don't know that if I've ever known that people couldn't talk to each other.
We weren't allowed to sit together in the cafeteria. We weren't allowed to be together on campus. We weren't allowed to go anywhere.
What did he do?
Oh, I mean, we were furious. Like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
The dumbest.
And like, I'm in my senior year. He's in his junior year, sophomore, junior. He came in late, and he'd already had other college. So and he's a year younger than me.
Sarah,
but again, we're 24 and 25.
Yeah,
right.
It's the same idea. You're in your senior year, and you're getting in trouble for something so minute, and then you're at home again, 17 years old, getting to be out, and they are jumping all over. It's like that control. They just lose that control over you, and they just want to get in there.
They want to control your sexuality, period.
Oh.
Period.
Yes. I mean, it's like the unpardonable sin for you to mess up in that way. In their
Not for guys.
Mess up. Nope. Not for a guy. Mm-mm.
And especially not for guys with special last names.
Exactly.
Because
and I could name probably 10 of them with special last names that did horrible things to girls and never got in trouble for it. And the people knew. Administration, principals, the board, they knew about these things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it infuriates me. And it's like the things that he got in trouble, he got in trouble for them because we were together, and it was my summer. I was finishing up my summer traveling, and we were in a serious relationship. We got engaged. And And so like, but he got in trouble and was kicked out of the school. However, I know specifically of someone else who did far worse, far more times, got probably 3 or 4 chances to come back and was treated like the prodigal son.
Yeah.
But whenever like my husband would show up like at some revival meeting where these leaders happened to be, was not, I mean,
he was not received well.
Yeah, not very well. I know one time one of them was like, "Oh, we're pulling for you," and I'm just like, "What do we do?"
Yeah.
Do you understand that like the percentage of people on your campus that are getting married probably aren't virgins?
Yeah.
Like it's a high percentage.
And it's not
It's
just
not always because it was
versions.
consensual.
No.
Most of the time I'd say it was not.
Probably not. Yeah, because they raise these freaking boys to be so controlling because they are supposed to be the top tier of everything.
Oh, they're the cream of the crop.
I mean, I even remember being told that, and I was younger, I was in high school, that I was not to talk to the boys that way. And it was,
what way?
It was because they were boys, disrespectfully, or, I mean, I already didn't have a voice, you know?
Oh, no.
And then when I actually expressed it, well, they're men, and that's, they'll be men one day, and I was just like, I mean, I remember thinking, that is not the way my mom is like, my mom did not treat men that way.
No.
Like she was the badass boss. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she was the top tier. And that's what I grew up in.
See, me too. Like I wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember
and Sarah, most of the people, like it's such a running joke. Who wears the pants in the family? You know, that kind of thing. Well, both of you are supposed to. They're raising their boys to be the top tier. That means they have control over all the people underneath them. That's the patriarchy in its entirety, is just that they're giving these men and they're teaching these men that they are going to be at the top.
And they teach the girls to be small from day one.
Exactly. Of course, the men are going to get power hungry, and it starts at a very young age, and they just think that they are quite literally the shit. And they're supposed to be, everybody is supposed to fall under their rule. And that's how they run their families. And unfortunately, when their sex drive comes in, they take what they want because they're raised this way. And so most of the time it's not consensual. And like you said, it's a huge problem because a lot of the time the people they're marrying is not who they lost their virginity to.
So no.
That's another thing. If you're not a name, that's like,
screw you.
Well, if you're not a name and you're not a man.
Yep.
It's just the way it is.
Yep. I know some of the stories that have been told to me even like after I've left, like one of the most recent ones. I don't have permission to share her story at this point, so I'm not going to, but it is one of the most horrific stories I've heard. I have to see if I can share it because it's mind-blowing to me. And then I reached out to a person I still felt like I could reach out to there to ask about it, to be like, say, hey, how could this happen?
Yeah.
And then to be told, like, I'm not even aware of that at all.
Right.
I'm just like, what?
That is crazy.
It really shook me, honestly.
I bet.
The response I got. Because I know that it happened. Like, no that it happened.
I don't understand. Oh my goodness.
It's very common for boys to get lots of chances.
Mm-hmm.
But even amongst them, it really, your name does matter. And
Yeah.
my husband and I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And it was obvious.
Yeah.
So it's, and I I know people probably aren't going to like that, but it's the truth. And when you live in privilege, you do not understand what it's like to not have it.
Yeah, and
you don't recognize it.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
I was not one of those names either.
Mm-hmm.
But the person I married was.
Mm.
And so I started being treated quite differently whenever we started dating.
Really?
And yes. And
What did you notice?
Well, even the okay, so I had dated another person who was a name before that.
Calling names, girl.
But I know, right? It's like anyway, but there was just, we did get in trouble once, but it was just because he was in the quartet.
Yeah.
And I rode with the van to the service instead of taking my own vehicle. And I got in trouble for that because I didn't have permission. It wasn't even that I was riding with him specifically, but apparently if I was not part of the quartet, I wasn't supposed to go. And I didn't know that, but he did. I got in trouble. He did not. So, and I wasn't even going to college there. I was working as a secretary in the financial office in that school.
How did you get in trouble?
Exactly.
Like, what did they do?
Exactly. So it's not just the students that they control. It's the whole.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. And I mean, you were in it for 8 years. I was just in it for one. Well, I worked 1 year, and then the second year I went into college. I just took college classes.
Okay. He knew, didn't tell you, and allowed you to just get in trouble.
Yes. Yes. And
red flag.
No kidding. We only dated a couple of months, but then when I started dating the man I married, he was a bigger name. The one I married was a bigger name. And yeah, I could do no wrong. I broke several rules just because he didn't live in the dorm. But so
you mean like just being a normal human?
Just being, yeah. He didn't live in the dorm. So he didn't know some of the rules, that had to be followed. I did, but I was an RA, and there was a couple of times that, how they were so big about permission slips to go on a date. Okay?
Yeah.
You had to go through this whole entire situation.
Dude, it's like applying for a job.
Yeah. First of all, you had to say, do you want to go out? Do you want to go on a date? Then you had to figure out where you're going to go, because you had to write that down on the paper, where you went, where you were going, if it was off campus.
Yes.
And then you had to say, or you had to go to one person and say, I would like to do this. And they sometimes wouldn't give it to you right away. They would review it. This is what happened with us, at least. They would review it, okay? And then they would sign it if they approved and give it back to you. And then you had your permission slip to take your girlfriend out on a date. And it had to be the guys that turned it in. I was 25. I was 24 and 25 when I went to college there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and he was 23. I mean, it's just like, what?
Christy, get this. Okay, when I was there as the Dean of Women, they had lightened up a little bit.
Oh, dear. You didn't have
I'm trying to, okay, so by the time I got there, you had to, okay, sorry. I feel like the word is apply. You had to go on dating roles.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you had to let people know who.
So people were friends for a really long time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because you could go out with your friends. You didn't have to have permission for that. Yes.
Especially if you're in a group and then you're just going to go do whatever once you're there, right? Because you're not an idiot.
So dumb.
But then once you agreed to go on dating roles, which I mean, you had to kind of apply. What I'm trying to remember the process.
Yeah. I mean, you gave them everything but your social security number. It was.
You even had to have like permission from both parents.
Yes, it was like a sheet. Yes. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, your like parents had to send in a letter.
Yes. Oh, I remember telling my mom that has just unlocked a memory, and she was just like, "I have to do what?" She thought that was so stupid. Oh, okay. Mind you, this is interesting. My mom told me one time, she didn't do everything right, obviously, but she told me one time, she's like, please don't sneak out. She said, I don't want my window broken. She said, if you want to sneak out, just walk out the front door, please. Like, oh, I remember sneaking out one time because if I had done it, I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. So it took away like the need to do it. Why don't more parents realize this? Why don't more colleges realize the more they push down on these adults, the more they're going to push back on the rules? I mean, you cannot control people.
Right. Especially to the nth degree. Listen, this gets better. So like I have two things in my head right now. So one, with the dating rules, when I left, or like left as Dean of Women, I don't know if they changed more while we were there. I just thought it was so odd. You have to do all these, like jump through all these hoops to go on dating rules, right? And then you get to have, I think, one date a week. But you're allowed to leave campus for 4 hours by yourself, which I just thought was so odd, given all of their suspicion around dating couples.
Yeah.
And what they don't want them to do.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I know, okay, I saw it less as a dean, and when I was a dean, I had to say things, but there was couples constantly on the platform in the gym, halfway making out, like,
oh yeah,
all the time. And like, once I was no longer the dean, I just looked at him and laughed. I was like, you go for it, man. Like,
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm not saying nothing. I do not care. Like, you're being normal. Like, you should be able to not have to feel like you have to hide a relationship. And that's the thing. It's like they try to like repress. And I'm like, it's like saying don't think about a pink elephant.
Exactly. Yeah.
So of course that's what they're gonna want.
Mm-hmm.
And because they've never been allowed to hardly have like any normal dating relationships, in which they have a parent who can help them navigate that because they feel safe to even talk to the parent about their relationships.
Right.
It's just another recipe for absolute disaster. And you're like creating situationships where people, like we've talked about before, they're getting married to date.
Yeah.
And have sex. And that's it.
That's it. They are not compatible at all. And
No.
then they get into this relationship and they sign a government contract that gives their husband permission to rape them every night if he wants to.
Yeah.
They say it's biblical that you're not supposed to withhold, and that is put heavily 100% on the woman. Because we're the ones who withhold, right? We're only
because they've completely twisted scripture.
Completely.
Like, that's really what Jesus was going for, And
I have been told
whatever you want.
Yeah, I have been told recently that the only sin I've committed is in separation when I separated from my husband the first, like at the beginning, that I was not putting out for him anymore. That's the only sin I was actually committing.
I'm sorry, but that makes me want to throw up.
And I was told by another pastor, mind you, a man, that could I please just do this for my husband, even if I didn't get any enjoyment out of it? But what the heck?
Right? Like, just let him rape you. It doesn't matter if you don't want it. Just let him rape you.
Exactly. Just
endure.
It is spiritual abuse
it's coercion.
Most horrible ways. It's spiritual abuse. It's put on every one of those women.
It's so objectifying.
Yes.
They like literally think, I'm like, if that's all you need or want, I'll buy you a sex doll.
No kidding. It would be 10 times better. I mean, masturbation is 10 times better than what you're doing to another human being.
Like literally destroying them.
What is wrong with you? I honestly cannot imagine my kids, my girls being told this. And believe
mine won't
be. It took me 43 years before I realized this is bullshit. This is not even true. This is not the way that God intended it.
Yeah.
There's no way. And it contradicts itself so many times in the Bible. If that's what it says, it's extremely,
Well, you realize that God completely condones rape in the Old Testament. And never goes back on that in the New. It says if you see a girl walking in the field and you want her, take her. And if you decide that you really like her, marry her.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
I think it's Leviticus. I'll put the scripture reference on the screen.
I'm going to look into that one.
Editing Sarah here. The scripture reference is Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 28 and 29.
These were the laws for the Israelites. You should see what God says to do. Like there's literal instructions for kidnapping women for sexual gratification only. Just another reason why I have a big problem with the Bible. And because it's not, the New Testament doesn't really say not to do that anymore.
But Sarah, I don't think it translates. I don't think it's translated.
I don't know about that. Not in this case. Yeah. Not all of it's, here's the thing. It was written by men. Men were using it to control people and women in particular.
Okay, so that is, that's what I'm saying. Okay, more than anything. We don't know who these men were. Not really.
No.
And Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because this is the Bible that everyone's like, it's the inspired, inerrant word of God, yada, yada, yada.
I don't believe it. I still believe in God. I do not believe that that is what he intended. And that's why I have a problem with the Bible.
Yeah, that's why the Bible to me is kind of
is being used to control people.
Oh, 100%. Sure.
And I do not push it on my kids.
No.
Absolutely not. That is not not
like
anymore.
I obviously
I've done
believe
that for years.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in obviously like a spiritual world. There's a spiritual life.
Not the way I used to though.
But I have not figured out. It's definitely not the God of that Bible.
Right. Now but I totally agree with you about the men who wrote the Bible. You know, they say that it was the inspired word of God, but they wrote that.
And if they, reading through it, and if you were like, oh yeah, this is fine, like the Israelites are the shit, like,
yeah,
and these were all the things, and then they want to like cherry pick verses from the New Old Testament to like say that are the gold standard still, and then maybe the next verse is something that they completely reject and don't follow.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you you're going to hell over the one right before that. And it's too subjective. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, all this whole conversation really, we have a lot of parallels, you and I. Yeah. Like our last episode, you talked about like how you got stuck in that boardroom. Yeah. Like we've both been stuck in some rooms.
Yeah.
Where we were in the hot seat.
Quite literally.
That wreaked havoc on our nervous systems. Not that they weren't already. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were already on that path.
Right.
But they were definitely like pivotal moments where really drove it home.
Yeah.
Who was in control?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I have more pretty big ones. It's just interesting how like those experiences link still. It creates a trigger. Yeah. When you have those types of experiences. And so like just this week, I had to be in an office with a man alone. And it was a principal. Yeah. So like a person in authority. And I don't remember a time where if I was called upon by someone in authority, like, hey, I need to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Not being like terrified. Yeah. Of what was coming. Mm-hmm. Like just utterly terrified. Yeah. Because it has never been good. Right. And I'm always just like trying to guess what did I do? Mm-hmm. Yes. What did I do? Yeah. But yeah, it's so hard to like get to the other side of that where you can like walk into a room with any sort of confidence. Yeah. And any sort of authority of your own. Right. And not lose it. Right. Emotionally. I mean, in that office, like, fortunately, this was not a man who came from that background. Yeah. Who, and was helpful, like, who made it very clear that, like, I'm here to collaborate with you. Right. Yes. And we are allowed to disagree and still be kind and friends. Like this doesn't destroy a relationship. Right. If anything, it would strengthen it. Right. Yeah, it's really hard to heal and learn, like retrain your brain and calm your nervous system to be able to handle just being able to go in and talk to your kid's principal.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like this big thing. It was just a simple meeting.
But it was big to you.
It was huge to me.
Yeah. And even when you told me about it, like you Marcoed me that morning and you said, I'm getting ready to go into this meeting. And I remember thinking, oh, that's today. And I felt it like, oh my goodness, she's going into this meeting. I mean, I visualized the whole thing. You walking into the room, sitting in the hot seat.
Yep.
Being looked at by men. I didn't even visualize any women, which is crazy. But being looked at as from all men, because our experiences, even mine with my connection to you, our experiences are just so similar. And never have we had a good experience in that. So you're holding yourself for disaster.
Yeah.
You're trying to prepare for disaster, basically.
Every time.
I was trying to prepare for disaster for you.
Yeah.
I even was just like, in my head, if he says anything wrong, like all of the feels.
The claws are already starting to come out without trying.
Without even, yeah.
Like, it's just second nature at this point.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, when we, what's coming to mind right now, when we first arrived on that campus, we had just moved there. School hadn't started. We were brand new. Like, I had never attended that college or school at all. My husband isn't from there. So he knew no one. He had no connections. I had more connections than he did just because I lived in the same state.
Yeah.
And because of Quartet. So, like, when we traveled during the summers, we met with all these other groups from all these other colleges, which was fun.
Right.
And so I had some connections. But we already had prejudice against us because we graduated from what was their competition, and I guess they feel insecure about their own school.
Competition.
I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
to have a freaking sporting team. I mean, we didn't have sports. We didn't have sports. That's the reason you have competition.
We had PR groups, and guess who was the best?
That's right. Oh wait, that was a sporting event. Quite literally.
It was the sporting event for us.
Yeah, that even though there was no competition per se, like where you actually went and competed in singing. Oh my god.
It was because we didn't have sports, then our PR groups were like the mascots, basically. Yeah. And so it's like, who performed better?
Yeah.
And trust me, like, I remember, when I was at my first Bible college and we went to IHC, which was the whole experience, sitting in the bleachers as other schools are getting up to sing. And mind you, this is a worship service. Praise the Lord. Like, the talk amongst the students was like, oh yeah, we blew them out of the water. Like, oh, we did so much better. Oh my goodness, how can they think? How are they even up there? Like, it was trash talk.
It was. It was the trashiest talk you could get without cussing. I love it.
Because that's all we had. Like, that was our school spirit, because we couldn't have that hardly. I mean, we couldn't even play sports. Like,
yeah. Well, and it was choir too, wasn't it?
Everyone did with
choir outfits are better Like that was one of the biggest things when we would go to other place or other churches and the outside choirs were coming in. That's one of the first things that we looked at was the outfits that the girls were wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say that it's okay. From far away, we'd be like, oh yeah, our outfits are better. Or we knew if ours was bad.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. That is so funny. Yeah, we knew if they were bad.
Yes. Because like my first year, like I was ever in choir, so it was the one where we would have been together if you'd have been there. You didn't stay long enough.
Oh, 2 months.
But that was the year of like the lilac jackets and the floral print skirts. Um, I actually looked pretty good in it considering what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? Why? Why don't you just wear black? Why don't you just wear black?
Well, they finally jumped on that bandwagon.
Finally, well, when I went to my second school, I think our second year, we finally went to an all black outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Lifesaver. And I think we stayed in that uniform from then on. And after that, every outfit has been black.
Yeah. There's no reason for it to be anything else. It is just, it's very sleek and professional, and you can't go wrong with black.
Somebody had like Barney purple dresses one year, or suit dresses.
I think that was us.
Was that you guys?
Yeah, I remember purple. Yes.
Because like everyone was just like,
well, okay, so you could tell who was being styled by a woman over the age of 40
oh my goodness,
back then, and who was being styled by someone in their 20s.
Yes.
Or early 30s.
Yeah.
You totally could. And there was very few women over the age of 40 back then who had a good sense of style. And so all they cared about was the florals. They were stuck back in the 1950s.
Well, I mean, it was the early 2000s. Still,
yeah.
Like I said, I didn't look bad in my lilac outfit. Like lilac is actually a good color for me, but like that floral skirt, man, was kicking.
I would venture to say there's very few things you look bad in. I mean, okay, for those who are just listening, you need to watch at least once because my friend is hot. My best friend is a hot mama. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. Christy.
I'm making her uncomfortable on camera. This is like new. This is new territory for Sarah to be uncomfortable on camera.
Oh, no,
She is though, and I'm being all completely serious. And so you bring me into the equation, and so we've talked about our history a little bit when we met and stuff like that. So I've always admired you. I've never been jealous. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, because like
I've always admired you because of not just your looks. You're very striking, but your personality that goes along with it. Like, I don't
that's more important.
I've ever met someone as kind as you to everyone. You know what I mean? Like, like you give, but then you're also not going to take any crap from anybody. And you're going to stand up for your kids and for your rights now.
Yeah.
But the crap that you had to go through to get here is crazy. You're confident, but you still haven't gotten to the point where you realize your worth. You know, I don't think fully. And maybe, I mean, we all are, we're still healing. You started way before I did. But there are sometimes I'm just like, she does not realize how good she is. Like, still. And not just good, but beautiful, inside and out.
Thank you. It is very difficult to receive.
I'm sorry to make you uncomfortable, but you better not cut this out.
I have the power.
I know you have the power. I'm telling you, this is the only, well, it might not be the only time, but one time I'm requesting that you don't cut this out, please.
Yeah. So it's actually weird. I haven't like always been told I wasn't pretty. In fact, I would get that's what I'm saying. There's so many conflicting messages.
Yeah.
Like I get in trouble for existing because
yeah.
Because I was pretty then. I mean, I don't think I'm ugly. Okay. Like I don't think I'm ugly.
No.
But like I everything about me just seemed to get me in trouble. So my own body is just never safe.
Right. Right. So
it's not safe.
That you were pretty. You were complimented for being pretty, but then you were also shamed,
punished
for it, and punished, yeah, for it. In that office, you were basically told that, I don't know if you want to share this.
No, I was told that by the college president that if I didn't change my ways, you know, having fun in the dorm at night with my friends, apparently.
Right.
Oh, and because I wore a shirt he thought was too tight on campus. And I remember seeing him look at me. And he brought it up in that meeting. But if I didn't change my ways, that no man would ever want me except for sex. So
what? Okay.
The message is that my body is not safe. I can't just walk around. I can't walk across the campus.
I mean, imagine how uncomfortable, yeah, you felt.
And this is like an old man. Like he's
he's in his 60s, probably.
No, he's older than that.
No, I mean he was in his 60s then, or 50s.
Probably 50s. Probably 50s then.
So he was like, yeah, a good 30 some years older than you. They would take it upon themselves to walk up to girls in the choir when they would go on
tour
and tell them they needed to change their shirt.
After that meeting, which was like in January, the late end of January, and then choir tours in like late March, early April, something like that. Might be early April because we would end at the convention.
Yeah.
We were on the choir tour, and of course you get all the talks about what's appropriate. Like everyone knows the rules on how to dress, especially the girls. And I had all my wardrobe was approved. Like it was fine. Like nothing was tight. Nothing.
Right.
And we had gotten to a church, and you know, there's like everyone's setting up, and you do like the warm-ups and the sound checks and yada yada. And we were like in that portion of the day, and all of a sudden the pianist, who's at that time was the choir director's wife, and she's like the mom of the bus, you know. She comes up to me and lets me know that he has let her know that my shirt is inappropriate and I need to change. I didn't even know he was there. Like I hadn't even seen him. And she was as confused as I. She was like, literally told me, she's like, I don't know what's wrong with your shirt. He just says you have to change it.
Yeah.
So I am, of course, mortified.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, clearly he's trying to see something.
And he is a grown-ass man and still has not learned the art of
Self-control?
Self-control, controlling where his mind wanders to every time he sees a woman with boobs.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's lots more stories like that. It's not just me. I'm not the only one.
I know. It's
like not by far.
You've been listening to The Party Line, to I'm on the Phone podcast with Sarah and Christy. Join us again next week for more stories about our pre, post, and mid-culty life. Thanks for listening.